I'm Minnie Kahlon. I'm live at South by Southwest Interactive here with Josh Baer. Josh changed the landscape of, did I mispronounce your name, Josh?
No, you got it.
Okay, excellent. Josh changed the landscape of Austin when he founded Capital Factory, which is a signature location. It brings in companies and entrepreneurs and helps them go out and be free and succeed in the world. Josh, as you've seen the Dell Medical School evolve from an idea to a vote to a reality, share with us some of the things you've seen, the transformation of Austin in its wake.
Well, you know, first of all, clearly health and medical technology has become one of the overriding themes of Austin, I think, for the next decade. There's so much momentum out of it, primarily driven by the medical school. You've really felt it just build and build over the past few years, and I'm sure it's got a long way to go. So we're feeling that effect both in economic policy and what the news and people talk about, and the types of companies and entrepreneurs that are being attracted to Austin as a result of it.
Great. Now you've also participated in conversations with us and with other stakeholders in the city on plans for an innovation zone in the city. Of course, because it's Austin, it will be uniquely Austin. But you've been thinking about this for a while, probably before they brought up the term innovation zone. So share with us some of your ideas on how you see the downtown area transform because of health, but also probably more broadly than that.
Yeah, well, you know, a great example of how the medical school coming has sparked more other conversations in Austin is people have said, hey, how do we use this as an anchor to create to inspire more innovation and more collaboration within the city? And so the initial thought was, well, using the medical school as an anchor, we can create a medical zone using some of the great property on the east side of downtown that maybe isn't well utilized right now. But then in thinking about that more, we realized that actually there's really maybe an even bigger play there where there's a health and medical zone, but we've already kind of got a tech innovation zone really along the 6th Street corridor downtown where there's lots of tech businesses and incubators, and it's really the desired location where Google and Dropbox and other big companies even coming here from Silicon Valley choose to go. And then if you think about it, right on the other side of 35, east of 35, is really what we already have as our kind of maker and creative space zone, right? Where we've got artist studios and almost like mini factories and people creating artwork and producing products and things like that. And so the magic of that is those three things all converge on Waller Creek, which is another area of redevelopment where we're going to see hopefully more green space and more kind of public spaces. And that seems to me like the most magical thing we can imagine is the geeks, the artists, and the medical people all converging on this kind of, you know, festival of space in the middle.
Everybody else sounds much cooler than us. The geeks, the artists, that sounds cool. The medical people sounds a bit dull.
All right, I'll work on that one. We need to come up with there's like hackers and hustlers and like what's the medical term version of that? We need to come up with that.
Unfortunately, we will create transformation, but we may not be as exciting ourselves perhaps. But all right, so tell me about what improving health at lowered cost, which is one of the big things we want to achieve. What does that mean for you personally, system-wide?
Well, you know, to me, that's really just the crux of entrepreneurship. You know, what I love about working with entrepreneurs is each of them is trying to change the world in their own little way. They're trying to make something work better, faster, or cheaper, right? And it's the same thing here with health, except that health traditionally has just been getting more expensive and in some ways less efficient for a while, it feels. And there's a real opportunity right now with technology in particular to make some dramatic improvements that, you know, lower costs and probably really make people's lives better.
Have you seen anything at the convention or in your slate of startups that particularly excites you that you'd love to share with us?
Sure. You know, when we started Capital Factory, our focus was not on health. But I've been pleasantly surprised to see over the past year that about 15 to 20% of the companies applying for Capital Factory and participating are health and medical related companies. And so just walking around the trade show floor here, we've got actually 5 of the small companies presenting that are Capital Factory companies. Kahlon Health over here that's doing telepresence follow-up visits for doctors and helping them to get reimbursed for those, and Macromultech doing bio software, and Blue Hub Health working with medical records. And so we've got a pretty big range there. And then I was also really excited to see just this past week a serial entrepreneur and Capital Factory mentor, Jeff Dotchis, launching OneDrop, which looks like a really innovative solution for diabetes patients, kind of integrating a mobile solution for tracking what you eat and kind of lifestyles and influencing how you feel, and crowdsourcing that data almost like Waze does for driving to help people with diabetes kind of improve their health by seeing what really works for other people.
Great. You also do a lot of work with the university. Speak to us a little bit about the opportunities you see in working more with the university, the school and the university more broadly read, but also some of the challenges that we need to overcome.
Well, you know, everybody knows that the University of Texas at Austin, UT Austin, is one of the greatest assets of the city, right? It's one of the biggest universities in the country, an incredible engineering school, computer science school, and business school, and many others. And so it's just, you know, always been a cornerstone of Austin. But at the same time, it's so big that it kind of gets siloed a little bit, and we end up with, it's almost like individual universities within it. And one of the great things actually about South by Southwest, as a counterexample, is how they've been able to integrate these different things, where we've got the health tech silo happening here, but there's people wandering over from tech, and people wandering over from gaming, and people wandering over from other places. And so I think that's the biggest opportunity at UT, is how do we get that collaboration? How do we get the schools getting out of their silos and interacting, and have, you know, the artists coming over to the medical school and influencing, you know, how that affects people's, you know, emotional health and happiness, and get the technology people coming in and building other types of solutions with the medical school. I think that type of collaboration, it hasn't been UT's strongest point, and is probably one of the big opportunities.
Great. I hope we can contribute to that. Thank you, Josh.
Thanks for having me.